maybe in that past year, you have been shedding, you have been releasing, you have been decluttering, you have been changing, you have been transforming. And now I feel like it's this moment of awakening and moment of illumination of certain things that will allow you to go deeper, right? Sometimes we hear a certain concept, even like a certain statement, and we feel like, yeah, we understand it. But then a couple of months or years, we see it again and we find out that we feel into it completely differently, right? Sometimes even, I don't know why I'm seeing like a saved video. So maybe you had a spiritual statement that you saved like in your social media or on your phone like years ago, and maybe it reminded you about it, like our phones sometimes remind us, or maybe you've been cleaning your social media on your phone. I feel like for some of you, you saw something that you already saw, or you already knew, or you already read, but now you're feeling into it completely differently because you have done so much growth, and now you're being born into the new version of you. You look at things from a deeper perspective. You know that you're not supposed to think about things and think better. You're supposed to feel into things energetically, because our mind is limited. Our human mind is limited. Our heart is connected to the divine. It's the bridge between worlds. This is where the true knowledge resides. This is where spirit lives, and the inner guru lives, right? So, and there's something here about the returning topic constantly of this competition. So I feel like maybe you're it's coming to my mind as well, maybe you have been healing sister wound, or this wound has been brought to your mind. We all have it. We all carry the core human wounds to a certain extent, but all women carry to some level sister wound. So maybe you've realized that you're done with comparing, you're done with competing. You want to collaborate, you want to create connections, that you're actually going to cheer for your friends, that you're going to live through their life experiences with them, because you're going to be true soul family. I'm hearing as well that you want to live your life in a softer way, in a slower way, in a more connected to that subconscious mind, to emotions, to the soul, to the meaning of life. But we can't ignore that we have the Tower and we have the Devil together. I kind of want to do one more card for them. Because I feel like it's actually a good thing. As weird as it sounds. Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like there's something. I'm hearing 8 years. We're actually closing 9-year cycle, but it's 9-year cycle. Maybe something happened specifically 8 years ago for you, because it came to my mind. My throat is blocking, sort of in line with that authenticity that we were talking about. I think like you're realizing that you've been really not seeing things the way you were supposed to. So maybe for the past years, you've even been trying to make your life better, or you've even maybe been following certain spiritual trends and spiritual, teachers and leaders. And now you're realizing that most of it is still surface level. It's still, yes, it's helpful some way, but sorry, it's not helping us to see into the real depths of life and the meaning of life. And I feel like maybe something recently, just happened, which wouldn't be a surprise. Hold on. I had to drink some water, but I'm not sure whether it's going to help. I feel like your throat is really clearing. Remember when I said to you that you have to start switching from saying I'm sick, I don't feel good, into my body's healing? Sign, but maybe you have been feeling a little bit weird, and you're starting to understand that our body always reflects the state of our energy body and our energy points, our chakras, and the quality of our inner world. People who are spiritual, balanced, they have a healthy energy system that is attuned, balanced, awakened. They have healthy ojas. They don't get sick, right? So maybe you're realizing that as well. Just a side note. It's clearing, so sorry, I'm going to be coughing. I'm clearing it for you as well. But I feel like it literally just like... I feel like something happened recently that sort of was this step back to push you forth, to help you to really see certain things that, oh my God, that past cycle, maybe you saw this cycle, really, maybe there's something, again, maybe it's that memory that, our phones sometimes at 8 years ago, and you realize how different you were, how things actually change, but now you want to change them on a deeper level, in a completely different direction. There is something about your inner strength to face your shadows, to face your patterns, to do the work, to do deeper work, to understand that life only brings us really what we need, and you no longer want to be resistant to it. You want to learn from it. Very beautiful energy. You are sitting in very, very beautiful energy. This is what we need to build new earth. Those kind of mindset, those kind of people is what we need to feel instead of think, to collaborate instead of compete, to cheer for each other instead of criticize, judge, to build stability not from a place of physical things, but from a place of energy, authenticity, honesty, independence, not to shame our shadows, but to face our shadows, to constantly, when we are shaming our darkness, this is what pushes it to the subconscious mind and makes us operate on an autopilot in order to ever be balanced. And it's, again, misconception of new age BS spirituality, that people think that people who are awake and walking Christ consciousness, true spiritual teachers, that they're this namaste, with a soft voice. No. We face our darkness every day. We feel into our darkness as intensely as we feel into our light, right? We feel into the pain as intensely as we feel into the bliss and the joy and the happiness. That's what true spirituality is about. Not to run away from it, not to avoid it, but to carry it with pride. When you deny it, it becomes a burden. When you acknowledge it, it becomes part of your dharmic path. All right. Let's ask now. Remember, that's what we said. We're going to ask your guides, what do you need to focus on next month? So the first month of this beautiful year, the month of the worm. And then we're going to do, I want to do a couple of oracles for you. And then we're going to do what's coming in that month. All right. What do I want you to focus on? That's very beautiful. You have the dolphin. Dolphin is one of the most beautiful cards in this deck. He's the healer. This is what we talk about, the starseed, the light workers, the those that were meant to, in some shape or form, build that new earth, be part of that new earth, change, break generational traumas, change the future for humanity, for our children. You are a healer, and they want you to acknowledge that. They want you to accept that. Maybe there's still, because we have the mouse. Mouse have the tendency to, overthink, over-engineer, over-plan. Remember, we had that logic card. It's funny how in every spread, it's like your first card is a complete magic, authenticity, high priestess, dolphin. And then we have logic, we have the mouse, right? So there's still a bit of a, in certain moments when you are contemplating on certain things, you rely a little bit too much maybe on your mind, which is okay. It's it's a journey. We cannot flip that switch in one moment. It's years of conditioning, of program. This is why we say that obviously in some cases, some people claim that it's just divine timing is about just decide. Yes, it's true, and we can change. Some people who go through like very brutal awakening in the sense of everything is being shown to you at once. In few days, you're going to be forced into, understanding certain things. But for most people, it's a journey. And it's meant to be a journey because our soul loves change, linearity of time, journeying, right? As well, because it's something that we don't have back there in spirit realm. But I feel like, so give yourself grace, it's right, but be more mindful of it. Be more mindful of not going into your mind to find the answers, but start going into your heart. through meditation, through contemplation, through just, sitting on your couch and closing your eyes and breathing deeply. Just feel into your body. It's important as well, I'm hearing. Maybe you should practice mind-body connection. It's very important. And again, this program disconnects us from our body. Our bodies are extremely wise. Our bodies show us the quality of our inner state. This is why these days, instead of teaching us the real spiritual ways of feeling into your body, where do you feel certain emotion, whatever you have, certain things that are out of balance in your body, it always ties to your energy points. It always ties to your pranas, right? But no, we're being taught to pop pills, to invent, disorders and illnesses, and keep us in, again, very close and very disconnected. So fostering, and taking care of that connection that you have between your soul and your mind and your body, it's very important. We are, and it's coming to my mind, it may be a little bit, too soon to say this to you, but I've been talking about this a lot. It's been relevant for many people in this change from one cycle to another, that the problem with this new age spirituality is that they're constantly seeking ascension. We're getting better, and by saying that you're getting better, you're putting yourself on a pedestal and you're saying that everyone else is worse. This is not what spirituality is about. We're seeking ascension to connect to our higher self, to connect to the Father Universe, to connect to the wholeness of Source, to open all our energy points and become oneness with the universe, to remember the true meaning of life. But once that is done, we descend back, because our souls, they don't want to be floating around in the spirituality again, namaste, right? We come here to live human life, to experience pain, to experience passage of time, linearity of time, to experience loss, to experience mortality, right? It's the whole point, and it's the whole meaning of life. We cannot defy our shadows, right? Someone who is constantly high vibe, yes, you can sit in the frequency of your soul, which is always high vibrational because it's divine, but sometimes the wheel turns. What goes up must go down. Sometimes we have to have moments when we're going to feel certain trigger, and instead of denying it, no, because I'm supposed to already be healed, I'm not supposed to feel pain and envy. No, we stop and we descend into it, to the juice of it, to the darkness of it, to the moist of it, to really feel it. This is what true healers do. We don't deny, avoid, and run away from darkness, right? Because again, darkness and light, it's illusion of polarity, right? Everything is neutral. We have to, it just has different densities. And us healers, we operate in all densities and in all realms, truly. So they're wanting you, going back to our cards, a lot of, I always read this way if you know me, but they're wanting you to acknowledge that you're a healer. You're here to be the beacon of change. You're not here to follow. You're here to lead. You're here to be the only one in a room, even if it's just a room full of other parents in school for your kids. Be the only one that will say, no, what kind of a BS is that? This life is not about competition. Competition doesn't feed ambition. It actually kills off our authentic self. I want our children to collaborate, not hate each other. Because one is gold medal and the other one is silver medal. It doesn't matter. It's not, contrary to the popular belief of white men, it's not what builds greatness, okay? But there's this fear that they want to, again, don't deny it, face it. You want to control certain things, you're still not, but it's a journey. Fire and I was seeing this card before when I was talking to you about, to follow and not lead. Remember, we were talking about connection. It's exactly that. It's in the center of your spread. Fire and when it's out of balance, it's about blindly following someone. This is why in New Earth we are removing now this nonsense thing that we have these celebrities who've done nothing, who achieved nothing, who are, I mean, it's not to diminish anyone, but why are we putting on a pedestal people just because they have pretty body, or they have some artistic talents, or they have, some celebrities is really truly nonsense. It's coming to my mind again. I'm not saying this from a place of judgment, but we live in a world where I follow what's the name of this girl? She's really funny, like Genevieve, right? And she stitched a video of this girl who had, like, I don't know, I think like almost 20 million followers, who sat down and said, you're gonna want to sit down for this, I'm getting a divorce. Have you seen this, right? It's like, this is what we follow. This is the world that we live in. This is what we follow. I mean, are you serious? Are you serious? You're here to change that. Oh my God. 20 million people who tune into that BS. What do you want to do with your life? Someone who only shows like products and don't get me wrong, I do myself, I follow certain, like I follow, for example, but again, it's authenticity and it's BS. It's marketed, unauthentic, filtered BS. I, for example, follow women like Katie Jane Hughes, like Alyssa Eldridge, when I want to find out about product, about makeup, because these women are divine. They're authentic, they're beautiful, they're empowered. You can feel that authenticity within them, that makeup, it's not just, they're not here out there to make money, to promote products, but to show women their empowerment, to show how we can feel better about ourselves, how we can not change, not pile things on, right? To use products that are actually good for us, right? So again, it's not about that it's a bad thing to be influencer and to promote certain products. I talk about this all the time. We cannot all be like ascended masters. But it's about conscious choices of who do we choose to follow? What does this person represent? And these things are crumbling. And the reason I'm channeling it is because you would be thinking about these things. So maybe you even had, maybe you've recently found certain people that you feel like they're so great and they're so authentic and their accounts are relatively small, and then you look at the biggest one, it's like pile of BS, right? But this is the world that we live in. This is what most people chooses to tune into, right? And this proves us how difficult of a job of a healer is, because not many people will follow. And I always, you guys know that I love just bringing Joshua into the picture, but now everyone knows his name, but nobody knows who he really was, because it's all twisted by the illusions of the religion and the manipulations, right? But everyone knows of him. But when he was alive, not many chose to follow. Not many chose to believe. Not many chose to change, right? And actually, very sadly, the reason he became so famous in this world is because a couple of white men that wanted power took his teaching, they twisted it into a religion full of lies to control societies, to control masses, to diminish women. It's a job of a healer. Not many will follow, but we are not meant to follow the fold. We're not meant to go towards where there's heat, where there's money, where there's power, where there's lots of people. We're meant to follow our truth. Even if one person will follow. I say this to you guys as a mantra. This is the job of a healer. So maybe you will stand up in this class full of other parents, or whatever your situation is. You will say, no, that's BS, that's nonsense. And everyone will look at you like you're crazy, and no one will pay. It will seem like no one pay attention. But believe me, our words ring in people's ears. In the moments of distress, in the moments of windows of opportunity, in the moments of change, they remember. So all those mothers, they may look at you like you're crazy, but maybe in a year or two, their child will be crying because they lost a competition or a contest or whatever, and they will hear your words in their ears, in their head, in their hearts. What have I done? This is not how, and they're going to start raising their children differently. We never know the ripple effect that we create. We must not surrender. to the BS of popularity, of this matrix of what people follow. True leaders don't care whether they're going to be followed or not. They just go. They just move forward. They don't even look back to see if, right? And again, once we start create communities, once we start create packs, true leader, I highlight this to you guys always, is a wolf leader. He goes at the end to make sure that everyone is safe, that everyone is right. That's the true leader. But in the beginning, when we're powering through centuries of nonsense, we have to be like that fire horse, the power of the feminine with the power of the masculine, fired up in the inner yin and yang. Let's go. I don't care who's gonna follow. Perhaps millions, if not billions of people are gonna stay behind in that old earth because they prefer to follow, that divorced chick. Oh my God. But who cares? Who cares? It's exactly the post that I posted on my Instagram that I've mentioned to you guys. It's not about success on new earth. It's about truth and authenticity. That. It's not about volume. It's not about performance. It's not about how many people know of you. No, we never know the ripple effect we're going to create. Remember Joshua. All right, let's do a few more. Woo! Kind of want to do what part that we're at. I get lost when I start to channel and get excited about things. All right, one more. Hold on. Elephant. Yes. I love this. This is my card of Master of Destiny instead of Victim of Fate. We are the creators of our own reality. We are the alchemists. Nothing will stop you. Nothing will stop you. There are certain things that you need to work on. There are certain things that you need to remove. But remember, again, it's something that we need to understand. And I say this to you guys as a mantra. There's a reason it came to my mind, that school example. And I was hearing that for some of you may actually have children. But people think that, if you're a starseed, lightworker, true healer of this world, that, you're going to be this namaste with millions of people following you, and you're going to be saying your teachings to the microphone and looking that way. Remember? Some, yes. Some, those who are usually, I say, beautifully ruled by fire. We have many beautiful spiritual teachers who are awakened, who are enlightened, who are followed by many, many people because their messages are universal. Their messages are opening people's hearts, right? They're soothing. But some healers are meant to work with smaller communities, with communities of healers that create healers with more of a heavier duty, right? Not messages that are universal, messages that are more sort of a harsh work and darkness, facing your darkness. And then some healers, they won't even have any kind of communities. You will just create ripple effect by living your happy life. You won't have to do absolutely anything, right? Abundance will come towards you. You just live your life. You're going to be a mom. You're going to travel. You're going to have your happy family. You're just going to create that ripple effect around you without you even knowing. Because the biggest thing a healer has to remove is the pride. Nothing will stop you. You hold the fire within. We have crocodile. That's usually my avoidance card, but I'm actually hearing crocodile is also that energy that, maybe in the past you were quite reactive. Maybe you still sometimes, you hear people say nonsense and you have this immediate need to, what? No. And sometimes we're guided to do it. Just like when I've given you, it's an important example that standing up in that class and not having shame, not feeling shy, just to stand up in your authentic self and say, I think that what you just said is just nonsense. It's not true. Just think about that. It's not true, but maybe in the past you've been more reactive. You've been more, oh my God, you're so dumb, right? What are you saying? But in reality, true healers, we also have to have compassion. So we have to reach that moment in life when we understand that it's not that this person is, like I mentioned, most people in this world that follow those ridiculous celebrities, it's not like that they're bad people, they're stupid people. They're just in the system. They were raised in conditioning in society, in an environment that told them that this has actual value, that this is what they're supposed to follow, right? So we're not here to shame them. We're here to help them, right? Because we were the ones that were given the awakening to the truth, right? A beautiful gift from the divine. And now we're supposed to just share it with others. So I feel you have to find balance. Maybe in the past you were quite reactive, you were quite judgmental, that oh my God, because of all these people, this is the world that we live in. And now you understand that it's not the people, it's the wounding, it's the system. It's something that we all can collectively change. So maybe you should approach things more, and you feel that something is happening and you know that you have to react, but you give yourself a little breather to really stand up and say something deeply from the heart, not from your anger towards how this world looks like, but from the heart and a spark of actually wanting to change. So you say one statement, but it's that statement that will resonate with people, that they will go back to, that they will hear it when the moment is right for them to change. And sometimes we're in situations when we have to, protect our energy, when we know that there's no point in saying anything, because, yeah. Let's do another row. Cobra. Cobra. Yeah. Cobra is this card. Oh, the bear. I love the bear. One more. Yeah. Okay, it's exactly that. So Cobra is our card of when the student is ready, the teacher appears. I feel like because it's paired with this dolphin, I feel like you need to learn, yes, you are a healer. And I've talked about this, I think it was yesterday's reading, so even if it's not your reading, maybe you should watch it, or the one before. Better go to my Instagram. I put the most important parts of readings. So if someone's not your collective, it's easier to just carve out the, universal messages. But I was talking about how being a healer, it's actually about humility and removing the separation. We're always one, we're always same. In the beginning, we need a master, and then we become that master to others, but we always hold space for each other, right? The fact that you still need support, that space being held for you, it doesn't mean that you're not yet ready to be a healer for others. This is the forever learner. This is the humble, there's a huge amount of humbleness in this energy that you need to pull out of yourself, right? Yes, you're a healer. Yes, you're special. Yes, you're going to create a ripple effect in this world, but you may never know how big of a ripple effect. You know how I mentioned that we say certain things that people sort of record them within themselves, so when the time is right, it's like they hear our voice in their head. It's a power of a healer. None of these people will most probably come back to you and say thank you. Okay, it's very non-rewarding job, to be honest. Yes, you're gonna have some people, and I myself have some beautiful ladies that every time they come to me at the end of a session, they just like, thank you for your messages, for what you do here online, and for your teachings, for your support, that you're here for me when I need you. Some will do that, but some won't. Many people who watch our videos constantly, they don't even, care to give a little like or a little heart in a comment. Yes, I hear you. Thank you for this message, whatever that is. And again, this is for us to really detach from it, because it's very non-rewarding confirmation. It's very non-rewarding thing to do, especially if you're one of those healers that, and I feel this is this collective, that you just create ripple effect. It's not like it's actually going to be, I don't feel like for this collective it's going to be your business, it's going to be your thing, but you're going to, through what you do, through who you are, you're going to create a ripple effect, and you might never know. You're forever going to dedicate yourself to improve yourself, to learn, to grow, to expand, to get better, to help others, to educate others, to say things that will open their mind. No one will ever get back to you and say thank you. Do you think that, you'll say something, people will look at you like crazy, and then in 2 months they're going to hear it in their head, and it's going to change their decision, it's going to change their life? You're going to get a fruit basket? No, you won't. It's part of the deal, It's part of the deal. This is why it is for the strongest souls, because we have the capacity within ourselves with hard work to really detach from external gain, to really detach from the praise, from the applause, from the, because we're not here for this. Remember, there's a reason they call it Christ consciousness. Look how Joshua ended up. Look what people did to him. And now they're all so smart, right?